Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Waterboro's April 6th, 2022 meeting of the Planning Board. Tonight we have 3 items on our agenda. The first is going to be part of the old business, Waterboro Safe Storage, and their public hearing that's been advertised for tonight. Also for old business, we're going to be trying to wrap up our consideration of the Fabian oil bulk propane storage application. And third is a workshop on the mobile vending amendment. But before we jump into things, we'll just ask Angela that the call the roll of the board.
Edward Zelmano.
I'm present.
Lori Anthony.
Here.
Rebecca Higgins.
Present.
Diane Gray.
Here.
Clyde Smith is the only one absent.
Great, so I believe we're still at a board of 5, so 4 out of 5, not too bad, but we're still needing a couple of other people. So again, I'm going to put in a plug that if anybody wishes to be a member of the board, please contact the town offices or visit the website for the town of Waterboro and fill an application and get that in, please. So, first thing to look at are the minutes of our previous meetings. That's the February 16th and March 16th meeting. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look through those minutes.
I have to admit, the April 6th, I had some questions still on, and would ask the chair if we could possibly review those next meeting.
All right, the March 16th ones?
No, the April 6th.
That's today.
That's tonight.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it must be March 16th. Yes, March, I'm sorry.
Okay, so
I
you wanted
apologize.
all right, so you're asking that we table that to the next meeting?
Yeah, if we could just look at those.
Okay.
I just had a couple questions that I needed to verify.
All right, no, that shouldn't be a problem, unless there's any objections from anyone else on the board?
No objections.
All right, so we will consider the March 16th minutes at the next meeting. So we'll just look at the February 16th minutes. If anybody has any questions, comments? Laura?
Yeah, I know, me. On the last paragraph of the first page, second line down, it reads, the tank will shift away from the undeveloped lot, away from the abutter. I had a question regarding that, but it was decided that the excavation would impact it more, so it's going to remain as is. I would like to just take that sentence out of the minutes.
Is it something that was stated at the meeting? Because the minutes...
It was stated, but the tank is... I asked if the tank could be shoved over 25 feet. There was a discussion, and it was in the excavation impact would be much more than if we left it where it was.
I remember this.
So we're not shifting the tank, which is what the sentence reads.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so it'll get amended.
Okay, thank you. That was it, Angela.
Okay. Are there any other changes that need to be made or additions?
No, I didn't have any.
All right, unless anybody has any objections, then the minutes will be accepted as written and amended pursuant to what Lori mentioned. So let's jump into our old business with our public hearing. This is on the Waterboro Safe Storage at Clarksbridge Road and Sokokis Trail. So the first thing we have up is the public hearing on it. So we will open up the public hearing, which again is the opportunity for the public to come up to the podium and provide us with any questions, comments, observations you may have regarding this application, and again try to limit it to this Waterboro Safe Storage application, and let us know your name and address for the record. Anybody in person, or if there's anybody on Zoom who has any public comments on the safe storage, just raise your hand.
John.
Yep, come on up. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm John Gale and live in Waterboro, North Waterboro. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. As the planning board, I expect that you probably are pretty aware of all the aspects of the comprehensive plan. And I'm just saying here, you just compare what you see here, this proposal, and does it fit within the comprehensive plan?
Great, thanks, John. Is there anybody else in person or on Zoom who wishes to speak on this application? Nope. Seeing no takers, we will close the public hearing on the safe storage, and we'll proceed to again review it for consideration and open it back up to the board. I believe we got some new plans that came in.
Yes.
And I think the last time that we had met, we were talking about some permits, state permits that were going to be coming.
Correct. The DEP, those are about 2 weeks out.
Okay, they're still 2 weeks out, okay. All right, do we have anything from the state, an email, anything at all? Because we were supposed to meet tonight and have the permits in hand already. Otherwise, this was going to be pushed off.
Well, if it's possible, could we get a condition of the approval that the building permit being issued after the state permit is received?
That was a question I think that we had asked Lee J last time, and he
Right.
said to wait, so what are your
Yeah,
thoughts on
he had
it?
said to wait, and that's
That is
why,
what DJ said, I would go with that, but
and that's why we didn't schedule it for 2 weeks out. We put it off, I believe, even longer or so.
I believe that's what he said. I'm not 100%. I thought he
Yeah,
wanted
that's
those in,
what-
the
yeah.
permits.
Because you had said the permit probably wouldn't be in, but maybe an
Well, we
email
do
from the
have
state.
an email from the state saying that they were all set with it.
Okay.
And sending it off to their project manager to write the permit.
Okay, so that's what we
Okay.
needed. Okay.
That's-
So that's what we need if you
The
want to.
main part, sticking part, is usually the stormwater, and we got confirmation today that the stormwater reviewer for the state is good with what we proposed back, and they're going to be finalizing the memo to go back to the project manager at the end of this week.
Okay, so Dean, you're standing in for Lee J?
yeah,
So if you want to give Dean the email, that way it could be made part of the file. And Dean will take a quick look through it and tell us, yep, it looks like the
Email,
permit's
but-
coming. So as long as, what we had said last time, as long as the email says that the state's completed their review, the permit is going to be granted, they just have to write it up. Then we're fine. We don't have to wait for them to actually send it to you, but as long as we have something saying that it's been approved by the state. So we'll get that.
It said it's not much of an email, it just says that
yeah,
it says that they're going to write the memo, so.
yeah, everything was, he just says a type of a memo, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, he said, yeah, today, so. As a party, you would just approve it with the condition that it's not approved until you have the memo, so we receive it.
And that the permit, after being reviewed by the town planner, meets reasonable expectations as to what is expected from the applicant.
And once again, if we,
Okay.
I don't have any problem conditioning
Right.
the approval on
Okay.
the receipt of that permit.
And I saw that we got a whole bunch of
Oh, yeah.
additional plans, so we didn't have these all the last time, correct?
No,
No.
most of those got revised, so.
Okay.
The revision that took place was the pavement around the buildings.
Right.
This was made wider, this is to accommodate the fire trucks.
Yep.
And making this wider, it kind of pushed the drainage structures a little bit closer to the road and made it narrower. And the engineers put in a line of boulders here to protect the ponds. And the snow storage areas have been revised.
And that's his sister.
And that's pretty much it for the revisions between what you saw a couple weeks ago versus now.
Okay.
So all the engineering plans have all been revised to reflect those changes.
Okay, before Lori kicks off on her lighting plan,
Mine
one
has
of the new
something to add.
plans that we got is It's the floor plan and elevations, and it looks like it's for building 1, which is 3/4 storage, and the rest is going to be the office area?
That's correct, that's this building right here.
Right, because we didn't have this before, so whereas the other buildings are going to, the storage units are accessible from the exterior, is the storage areas in building 1 accessible interior?
No.
Okay, because do you have this plan? Because it looks like then there's 3 different accesses to the interior storage.
He makes it small.
That is, yeah. It's not like what we normally do, so yes, that is correct.
So it is interior access.
Interior and exterior access. Yep,
Just for building
So
one?
some of the units are interior, some of them are exterior
that's correct.
access.
Yep.
Now, since it's an interior then, was the fire department aware of this and the fire marshal for his review? Because I don't think he was, because we weren't even aware the last time, because there may be a sprinkler requirement since it's now an inside structure that we're looking at.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that plan was included in the last set. That we both- 2 weeks ago.
He was given the plans, and apparently he didn't pick up on that either, because there's no updated memo from him.
Isn't there a square footage requirement for sprinkler systems? I thought it was 5,000 square feet or something like that.
Yeah, go on, Mike.
Yes, there is a square footage requirement. However, I'd just like the opportunity to check with the fire marshal's office to verify that they are aware of this and that, God heaven forbid, it wasn't overlooked in the beginning on their preliminary approval.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that he didn't know either that this was the only building that was
And it may or
interior.
I'm sorry, and it may or may not change anything at all. But,
Right.
And so I'd like the opportunity to check that out before you move too much further with this application.
Okay.
I also would like to add something about, I had a question in my memo, it was number 4 regarding the culvert and the stormwater plan. We're waiting for DEP's approval upon that. I went out there with a road commissioner, and it's a 15-inch culvert. He had mentioned, that they had narrowed some of the ponds up and that may concentrate more flow, and the road commissioner's concern was that perhaps that culvert may not handle the additional flow. And I noticed that the stormwater plan was actually based off a 25-year storm event instead of, it's sometimes they're 50, sometimes they're 100.
Sometimes a 100-year storm.
Exactly. So that, once again, that portion will really hinge on the DEP approval, but at the same time, I'd like the board to keep that in mind because we do have the ability to be more stringent if we see fit.
You're talking about the culvert under
Across
the right of way?
Exactly. The one across the road.
You're talking about the one that goes towards the cemetery?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That culvert right there. And as he said, they had done some design changes to accommodate the fire department, but they didn't minimize the quantity that the stormwater ponds will take. But I thought that a 25-year assessment may have been a little weak, but I hadn't had an opportunity to talk to somebody at DEP. It does also flow into a stream that is on the USGS, so
that's a horseshoe.
So there's a couple of things.
Would you rather see an assessment based on a 50-year or 100-year storm?
I would, but I wouldn't feel comfortable asking that at this point. Let me confer with the DEP and see where they're at for the size, because I'm not a stormwater engineer by any means, but the road commissioner the public works director, excuse me,
Right.
had expressed some concern. It's an old metal culvert, and there's gonna be considerably more flow or sheet flow just from the buildings alone.
Okay, well, the engineer that designed the project sitting right here, so I'll let him address that particular question.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Can you just come up to the podium so that everybody can hear you on the mic?
Yeah, Paul Ostrowski, Sebago Technics. All the water runoff from buildings and the majority of the parking lot is going to get captured in one of those two ponds. You know, the design of these is you're supposed to maintain a certain volume and discharge it over 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
We also, on top of that, have additional flooding storage, and we are meeting the pre-post analysis for the flooding standard for the 2, 10, and 25-year storm events. We didn't see anything in the local ordinance for a 50-year. We went with the DEP regulations, which is the 2, 10, and 25.
Can you
may I
talk?
have
come on.
one?
Is the flow rate less than the culvert?
Well, that would be my question. What was the CFS
4.9.
existing, and what was this, what are you proposing?
4.9 existing, 4.9 proposed.
So you're keeping the same
Yeah.
outflow?
Yeah.
That's all I had for a question on that.
Yeah.
And how old is that culvert system?
That I don't know. We in this case, we took that, all the runoff is directed to that culvert.
Right.
And we took the inlet side of the culvert, not the outlet side. We saw that it was there. We weren't impacting it in any way. We kept our grading away from it. Didn't adjust any of the inverts. As far as the age of that, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we can check that back with Public Works
Yeah.
when we're waiting
Yeah,
on
I'm
this
just
DEP.
wondering what the life expectancy is on that culvert.
You looked at me as though you made one of me. I do not know the age of the culvert, but it has begun to rust, and that could be on the ends where it's not covered. The middle could be in very good condition.
Okay.
It does need to be looked at, and I can address that as well with the Public
Okay,
Works
yeah, with
Director.
Public Works.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure, thanks, Mike. All right. So, Lori.
I already asked the stormwater question, so that's fine. On the pretty plan in front of us, which is lovely, I love it. But in your notes, and this is just technical stuff, you list the side setbacks as 25 feet. They're also drawn 25 feet. Aren't those 20? The Sebago Techniques has them listed as 20 feet, which it's not going to impact, you know, because it's farther away.
I don't
But
have the village district requirements in front of me, so. Pardon?
The village district is 20.
20?
yeah,
Well, then obviously those are incorrect.
yeah. And I caught it just because Sebago Techniques plans are all 20, and it's drawn 25, and it's in the notes listed as 25.
So that's going to be revised down to 20?
Yeah, it's just that one
Is
plan.
it drawn to 20 and just the,
No, it's drawn to.
No,
It's drawn to 25?
25.
Yeah, it's 25. Notes, no. Grading new to more. See that. I have and I don't know, I know Lee J could probably answer this, I don't know if you know, where you weren't in the meeting with the fire department, it has to go back anyways, but I just wanted to make sure that the fire department was definitely okay with not having access to the center aisle between the buildings. Right now, the trucks, there's no way those trucks can go down the center aisle.
The plan you have in front of you is the plan that the fire department approved.
Okay.
begrudgingly.
So that, so there was no updates to that part of it?
No.
So they approved, okay. The landscape was good. The lighting plan, of course, the original one had no photometrics on it. The one that we got tonight has what appears to list or try to show photometrics, and all I'm interested is where the zero candle foot boundary is.
Yeah, this is
And there's a bunch of question marks with no numbers. Sheet 7.
Well, correct, Paul. This is showing the limits of the light, correct? Is it here? Yes. Yeah, that's the, so there's wavy lines that you see around the buildings.
Yep,
Those are the casting limits of the lights.
so that's where the zero falls. 0 foot candles.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know,
The thing is
because-
like micro printed.
Yeah,
It would be just
to the edge.
just on that edge of line, yes.
Okay, that's all, that's all.
Yeah,
I need.
that's
Yep.
the hot casting.
Yeah, I only asked because the points have question marks and no numbers. So, no, that satisfies me, thank you. Nothing on the details. Nope, I'm set.
All set?
That's all.
All right, any other questions from the board? So it's looking like the applicant is going to need to revise the plans to go from the 25 to 20 foot setback. We've got code enforcement speaking with Public Works about the culvert, and Building 1 is going to be discussed with the State Fire Marshal's office, I believe.
That you're going to contact, right? You're going to contact. them.
Yes,
Correct. I believe.
Okay, he's going to contact them? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 3 things outstanding on this. And then,
Can you read, so Ed, you have the culvert, building 1, and the what?
and they're going to revise the plans, as
The setbacks.
Lori said, to go from the 25 foot to 20 foot setbacks.
It just
Two
so
of the
happens
sides.
it's on the one that we actually sign. If it was on the
Okay.
other ones.
All right, are there any other issues? Any other discussions, comments? No, I'm sorry, there was, the public hearing's closed already on this. All right, so how long does everybody think they're gonna need to do all of this? Mike's got 2 out of the 3 things.
Is this the
Because our next meeting is the 20th. So if we could have everything in 2 weeks, is that gonna be enough time?
My change is gonna take me about 5 minutes.
Okay. So we just need that information, and that way it can then be communicated to you, and if anything else needs to be done, we'll be able to get it in 2 weeks.
So how many copies do you need of the revised material?
I'll email you.
Okay.
I'm gonna, not 12.
Yeah, that was a lot of paper.
Not 12.
Yeah, just the ones that show the 25 instead of 20.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
Basically.
the only one, and that's the one unfortunately that has to be signed.
Yep.
That's all.
All right.
The one question I do have for you guys is, do you require the site plans be recorded?
I don't believe they're recording anymore.
No.
No,
Not on the site,
plan.
not site plans.
Okay. How many copies does the board need for signature and filing?
So for the actual signatures, for approval and signatures, I'd only need 2.
2?
But for them to come through, for any changes for them to review. 9.
Okay.
All right, hopefully by then you'll also have the actual physical permit.
That would be nice.
From DEP, yeah. That'd be very nice if they could get it to you. All right, so I think we need just a motion to table.
A motion
to the
to
next
table.
meeting. Okay, do we have a second?
I'll
All right.
second.
All right, so we got the motion by Diane and seconded by Lori to table the application to the April 20th meeting. All in favor? We have 4 days. All right, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Now, moving on to our next item is the Fabian oil bulk propane storage. And we'll let Mr. Weisel, did I say that correctly?
You did.
All right. If you want to, again, just bring us up to date on any changes that have been made, and then we can open it up to the board again.
There were no changes requested, we made no changes.
Okay, great. I saw that we had some pictures here.
Yeah, one of the conditions kind of addresses Hanson Drive, so I had some photos just in case we had to talk about it.
Okay, so let's jump into the conditions of approval. There were 7 of them that were given to us.
Recommended, right?
Yeah, that were recommended. Yeah, right. So we'll take them one at a time on there. The first one states any lighting proposed on the site be full cutoff LED lights. All lighting shall be initiated by motion detection. Of course, being the OCD that I am, I rewrote it. And it basically just says any new lighting proposed on the site will be full cutoff LED lights activated. All lighting will be motion activated.
Any new lighting.
Right. So just to make sure that we know it's the new lighting.
Yeah, I haven't weighed in on any of these yet.
Okay.
So you want me to do it one at a time?
Yeah, let's do it one at a time.
That one is not an issue for us, it's just 2 comments I can put in the notes. One, I'd like an override to leave them on in case we have to be out there to do some work.
Okay.
So, motion's fine. And 2, as long as that doesn't violate the state fire marshal or the state fuel boards, they're gonna approve and commission the facility.
Okay.
So
Right, they're going to be approving everything anyway.
I'm unaware that that's an issue with them.
Okay.
So
All right, so you want...
I just don't know, so I just want to leave that, if there's any conditions that they put on, that they might, would the state supersede on safety conditions of lighting? I mean, this is minor, but...
Right.
Yes, they would, if it was a fuel board.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Well, it's Bruce Barstow, you know him?
Yep.
Yeah, Bruce is well aware of all our facilities, he's supervised and commissioned all of them, so licensed all of them.
Okay, so you want the ability to override the motion detection?
You know, like you have a motion
as
detector,
needed?
you go 1, 2, 3, and leaves lights on.
Right,
Then you put it
okay.
back and it goes back to motion.
Yeah.
That's all, just in case we're out there for some reason. We don't have to keep moving to make
Right.
it turn on.
I was gonna say,
We're only planting one pole at the,
yeah,
right there
Right.
anyway.
and that's how they come anyways.
Well, I mean, residential, yes, I don't know how the commercial ones come, but
Oh,
I'm
right,
assuming that
right,
that's
I don't,
possible
yeah,
too, so.
yeah, okay.
That was all I had on that one.
Okay. Is the board comfortable with number 1? With
As
that?
written, or are you or as changed?
Well, or as changed, yeah, because I was going to give Angela my changes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going back and changing all the way.
There's a difference.
Right,
in the
okay.
lighting.
Yeah, just new lighting.
Yep.
Just
okay.
a new,
Okay. Number 2, all truck activity associated with the bulk storage facility shall occur between the hours of 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. unless emergency delivery to clients is required.
Yeah, this is gonna be open to, we have to discuss this one.
Okay.
So on a normal basis, we had discussed in previous meetings that, Mother Nature dictates what we have to do.
Right.
I am open to, if the times from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., that would probably cover 95 to 99% of anything, because we're not gonna really go out after 8 o'clock anyways, unless there's a run out, and then the truck should probably have product on it anyway.
2 o'clock in the morning.
The other issue
They're at
is,
8 o'clock.
we don't control
Asked them what the hell
the
they
source
what kind
terminals,
of
they're
logic they got.
24/7. So
that was gonna be.
the transport trucks.
Right.
I mean, I can't say that I'm gonna show up in the middle of the night and want to.
And there's a truck leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning out there.
That would be impossible to schedule. I mean, especially with this winter, they were running 23 shifts, 20%. Not just our trucks, I'm just talking everybody's trucks. We hired, contract carriers, everybody was running 24/7. So, I mean, that terminal, if you think about it, this terminal it's not a major wholesale terminal.
It's self-use.
There has to be the ability to unload at night. I mean, when I left here at 9 o'clock last meeting, there was a tractor trailer blocking the main road trying to get into Abbott's backwards, and there's houses there, and they're making deliveries. Hannaford says deliveries 24/7. We're not talking about major truck traffic 24/7. The tank only holds, 80% of 30, which is at 24/6.
Right.
So it's two 12,000 gallon trucks. The most it would be, if it was dead empty, would be 2 trucks.
He's never lived on a highway.
So that would just be.
Have no idea what he's talking about.
Almost impossible to adhere to. And I don't know who would be monitoring all this. Who's going to say that it wasn't an emergency? Who's going to say that, we had a complete hours of service waiver this year for trucks. I mean, not just propane trucks, but oil trucks, gasoline trucks. The federal DOT had hours of service. The state of Maine had hours of service waiver. So, like I said, not normal, but it's just to be impossible to adhere to that schedule. And granted, if you think about it, we're running around 500 feet from the nearest house. The road is a fraction of the distance to all these houses, and the truck traffic runs 24/7 there. And at 50 miles an hour, I'm talking about 5 miles an hour.
So you were saying that if there had to be hours placed on this, you'd be more comfortable with
I'd like to
8 p.m., but
5
sometimes in the middle of the
PM.
night you might have.
So with the retail trucks, he wrote pigtail, it's bobtail in here, and I think it was corrected. With the bobtail propane trucks, and that's specifically propane, we're not talking about the existing oil operation, this is the new operation. We might want to go in and start the trucks at 5 a.m. when it's 25 below zero, because we're not going to get out the door. Most of the trucks would be loaded in the morning before, so we wouldn't be coming in at 5 a.m. and then going to the tank and loading. They'll be coming in and leaving with the trucks most of the time. There are times when there might not be product in the tank to load up at night, but that's not our standard operating procedure. But to say that in the middle of the winter we're going to get, we're not going to need maybe till 8 o'clock for the 99% of the business. Most of the time our drivers are off the road at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the winter. So, I think it makes it a little easier on, who's going to monitor and say that we were loading at 8 o'clock and then determine that it was an emergency and we're going to call Mike every single time.
I don't know if that was so much a concern. Maybe it was.
I didn't set these times, so these are just
Yeah,
regular.
I didn't set these times.
Concern.
I just think that out of courtesy, and I think that the abutters were concerned about it being a consistent
There's people waiting to
later time, but more consistent, not on an
Generally is
emergency
not.
basis.
First of all, our drivers are all subject to hours of service most of the time.
Right.
And they're just not going to work 24 hours a day. So they usually start at 5 or 6 in the morning. They usually are during normal weather time. They're 6:30 is our driver meeting. They're on the road at 7. When it's really bad, they'll come in 5, start the trucks up because it takes an hour, 45 minutes an hour to get them running. Then they'll go out and they should be back by 4 o'clock. The limits of this tank aren't going to allow us to run a 24/7 operation anyways. It only holds 25,000 gallons fully loaded. That's 2 transports worth. That's what I'm.
So the supply truck, the truck that comes on site to refill that, the 30,000 gallon, does it come on site once or twice a day, or?
3 times.
Well, it depends on our use. I would say most likely most times, and there might be exceptions, would be twice, because the truck holds 12,000 gallons of propane.
Right.
The tank only holds 25,000 gallons full.
Okay.
It would have to be completely dead empty for it to come.
And would either of those be outside of, let's say, proposed hours of 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
The transport trucks would probably be outside.
Okay. Okay, so we'd have to make an exception for that.
Yeah.
In there as
Well, no, these are suggested conditions. there's no exception to be made, you can make the conditions what you want.
I have a challenge with creating conditions that can't be controlled or policed. And I don't know who would control and police this. And therefore,
code enforcement.
Well, right,
That's
but why is, Mike's got better things to do than figure out whether somebody's there at 5 o'clock for an emergency.
What would probably, what I've seen happen on other conditions of approval with other applications is that abutters call up code enforcement and say, they were supposed to be closed at 6 p.m. At 9 p.m. they were still there working.
Right.
And Mike just takes that down, he goes out there and says, we've got a complaint that people were out here at 9 o'clock working, you were supposed to be closed at 6, what's the situation?
I just
and
don't
Mike,
think
and Mike is the one who would
conditions like
enforce it and do a stop on them or whatever he needs to do to get them in compliance.
Let me put this in perspective for a second. I don't mind doing that, but our other operations there aren't subject to. They're all under allowed use. So is Mike, no offense, I mean, we're going to determine that which truck it was, who was there, was the oil operation, the existing operation, was the new operation. I mean, these are not, I'm not running a 24/7 operation.
Right, yeah.
We just don't have the drivers and staff to do it. And, you know, homeowners don't want us coming. We don't go to homes at 8 o'clock. First of all, there's no lighting in homes. And in the winter, when the driveways are icy, my trucks, I want them down at daylight to determine whether they should even go down a driveway.
What are you talking about?
So I guess my first question to the board would be, do you feel there is a need for a condition of approval that limits the hours?
I vote to strike it.
I'd be very hard pressed to, with a business that's trying to operate, has no control over its transport, which if they can't fill the tanks, then people aren't going to get their heat.
Right.
And it has come up in the past, business and you know, limiting business hours. And I would be very hard pressed to limit a business's hours to serve the public. So I'm not really in favor of that condition of approval.
Okay.
And in addition to, you know.
I think if you have to make this many exceptions, then there's no need to do it sounds like we've got a ton of exceptions. We've got other business.
The volume doesn't justify it.
Right.
You know, it's his clients.
Right.
It's not like the gas station. It's not like the convenience store that went in a few years ago.
It's the demand that's going to dictate.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's going to be in the winter.
And the conditions.
It's a necessary product to keep people.
In Maine, yeah, it's a necessary product.
No, I agree.
He's trying to get to his customers more quickly and efficiently.
And Diane, you said you agree?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
Okay, then we'll take out condition of approval number 2. All right, so number 3.
So number 3.
Yeah, let me. It's no more than 4 bobtail trucks and associated delivery tanks, which I have a question mark next to, shall be stored on an overnight basis at the site at any one time.
I have the same question mark you do because I don't understand.
I didn't know what that was referencing.
Other than the metrics, I have no understanding of what that sentence really means. Right now, we have allowed use and we have trucks there. Are you saying we have to take away what the existing operation is? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to limit him to 4 trucks, he has 4 trucks right now.
Yeah.
And his whole point of this is to expand his business.
Right.
I say the same as number 2 with that one. I just don't know how we control
BJ
business.
isn't here and we can't really find that out. Dean, you don't have any insight
That
on
was
that?
his words, so.
Yeah, I don't know, because I looked through my notes and I didn't see any discussion at the last meeting about the number of trucks on site.
How many of the small propane trucks do you have there currently?
I have 1, and we have 1 scheduled to go there too. So, I mean...
And I think it's the little ones.
The bobtail
The
ones, the actual ones that go out and deliver to the consumers.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's not clear. The sentence written a little weird.
Well, it says no more than 4 bobtail trucks.
And associated delivery tanks. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I
don't know either.
And 4 trucks without even distinguishing gas versus propane versus.
Well, no, I mean, I'm shooting myself.
Well, with the
he did say pigtail, which was bobtail. That is specific.
Do you store empty residential propane tanks, you know, the
We have been for
150.
years.
Yeah.
The 120 gallons.
Oh, they're 120.
500s and thousands, yeah, it's up on, they've always
They're
been
up on
in the
the-
back.
Okay.
That's been a use, we're allowed to, they're not full, they're empty.
Yeah, no, that's what, I was trying to see if that's what he was
I have no
getting
idea
at,
what it
associated
says.
delivery tanks. I don't know if he meant tanks or trucks or whatever he was trying to say, but is the board of the agreement that that condition should be removed?
Yeah,
as well?
I had,
Okay.
in my review, 2 and 3 I'd removed.
Okay, then we'll take out 3 as well. Let's see, number 4.
I don't even think we need to discuss it, I think that was my offer.
That was his offer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that-
4.
and that- I'll even put up, signage. that
So
says,
4
please don't
becomes
spray.
Okay.
2. The old 5, Fabian Oil engage a civil engineer to assess the stormwater runoff in the Hansel Drive area of the property and provide a report to the planning/code office with a plan to address, if necessary, within 3 months of this approval. So are there any changes being done to Hansel
So
Drive?
my question to Lee J was, I have no idea where this came from. It wasn't discussed
either.
or opened or brought up.
Right.
So I will make an assumption, and it may be incorrect, that it was brought up after by an abutter, because we only have one abutter on Hansel Drive. So
Right.
I don't know what this is talking about.
I think that might have been from the discussion, there was, somebody had made testimony about having to go out and clean that drainage, that he personally goes out and does it. I think that's what this
So
was.
if we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
I've already had an engineer look at this, so I'm prepared that if we have to go ahead and do the report, I'm prepared that it's not going to show any distress on the property. However, do you have the photos?
So-
This is going to be for Mike. If I have to go here, we're going to go here.
Mike.
So, can I come up and point what you're looking at?
Sure.
Because I don't know what order he put them in when he printed them.
Oh, the pictures?
Oh, the
Yeah.
pictures.
Sorry, I
I don't need the photos, I said.
You don't need them? Okay, so this picture is Mr. Bujo's driveway, or abutter. It has,
Now, isn't it your driveway? He's got right away to it?
this is the entrance, he is bridging the drainage ditch. He's doing it properly with a corrugated pipe, correct? Okay. This is the drainage ditch, uphill is Mr. Bujo's driveway coming downhill here.
Okay.
Third picture is a new structure being built adjacent to Mr. Bujo's
That was
house on his
built last
property,
That was last year.
where he created a new driveway and filled in the drainage ditch without any pipe.
Yeah.
So if there's any issue with the road, it's runoff from that driveway. He's completely made that drainage ditch useless crossing his driveway on our
Understood.
property.
Okay.
On your property.
On our property.
I
This is just a clearer picture to show you that this is all new material leading into his property.
Yep.
And the drainage ditch is non-existent. It's here, and it's above it, and now it's gone.
It's busy.
So if there's any issues on Hansel Drive,
Duly
I would
noted.
just ask that Mr. Boudreau put in a pipe, call it a day, restore the drainage ditch.
That's outside of the application.
I get it.
And that's something that you deal with code enforcement, you talk to him about.
But I will tell you that the report, my engineer.
Is gonna say that.
He's gonna say there is no distress on the property.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mike is probably gonna agree with that.
Yeah.
So I could not spend all this money creating this report, finalizing it to come up with
Right.
something that we're gonna have to take up later on.
Okay.
That is the one abutter that has not opposed this project.
It's to say you can't.
He did, he was here.
It-
You were.
Oh, shit.
It's the guy with the shed, is the house next door, he's the first abutter that has not been involved in.
Oh, yeah, the shed doesn't belong to the
To
guy.
Mr.
on the-
Goodrow, this is another.
That's a
This is
different,
another-
that's a
Oh,
different
I don't
person.
know who that belongs to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the house across from the tank storage.
So you guys can talk about this outside of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Figure
so
out
I
what's
have
going
had an
on.
engineer, and
Okay.
so there is no issue with the road.
So then
Thank
the
you.
question then to the board is, are we striking number 5?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, number 6, all appropriate emergency plans be submitted to the planning department, should that be?
Fire department? I don't know.
It
So
should be
can I
fine.
explain how this works? Do you know how the the EPA top tier, top set
It should be fine.
works?
No, no.
So, okay, so, I agree to this, but it won't be, it's not determined. So, once we get this permit, we have to go to the EPA. And we give them, they have a site where they have a satellite view of this property, and we put an X where the tank is. That's really all it is. Put an X where the tank is, you submit it, we have to register the terminal with the federal government. They will then tier the terminal. How they do that, I don't know. They look at everything, they have it. I do this all the time. They will then tell you what level of facility security plan, whether you need a risk management plan, and what the level of that risk management plan will be. All that's going to be public information. So we will be required to do what the federal government tells us. So if I were to say, I'm going to create all this stuff to give to the fire department, I don't know what that is yet. There will be stuff. Even at our lowest tier, lowest threat, we have to create something.
So what Lee J is referencing is submitting it to the fire department.
To the fire.
It should.
I would personally give it to them.
Yeah, because
they can go online and get anything they want.
Because it just says department, so I was trying to think, what department is he talking about? Fire department, planning department, code enforcement?
It's gonna wanna be in both.
Both.
I'll give it to them. I don't have to give it to them. You have access to everything that we do, and he has access. So first of all, the first level, even before we build the terminal, they're gonna do that, tier it. We don't have to wait for them to do it. It just determines at what point what we have to submit and put in writing and have on property. And anything we have on property is subject to inspection by code enforcement and the fire department at any time. Well, in working hours, but pretty much any time. And I am, throughout this whole process of construction, I'm more than happy for Mike to come, for the fire department to come. Bruce Bristow from the state's going to be there, and we can all meet and go over whatever, anything we want. I have no problem with that. We do that at all our facilities. I mean, do you know Dale as well?
Okay.
Bruce on the field board?
So, are we leaving that one in and just say to fire department, or just leave it as department?
It's a requirement anyway.
Right.
It's not something I can avoid even if it's in here.
Instead of us chasing it, if you could just supply that emergency plan to, Mike or the fire department, that's fine.
Yeah, because the next one's going to take care of that anyway. So
Right,
we train the fire department on the site, and they're going to have access to what's where and where what. First of all, we're required to label all the types. Paper, going what direction. I mean, that's all outside the purview of this organization, me. It's NFPA standards, which go to the state because the state's an NFPA state. Then that's the fuel board and to the state fire marshal's office that oversees it. And then it's based on the tiering of the terminal and how you design your risk management plan, your facility security plan.
So you mentioned condition 5, which is Fabian schedule and provide training to the fire department on the full system associated with the propane operation, which is.
I'll let them come in.
We'll leave that one in.
I'll let them come in and shoot water on the tank.
And that'll become the new 5.
No problem with that.
So what I'm left with are 5 conditions of approval.
Okay.
So what everybody else has.
3.
Okay.
No, we struck.
Number 1 is number 1.
Yep.
The old 4 is 2. The old 5 is 3. The old 6 is 4, and the old 7 is 5.
Yeah.
That's right, that one, that was
Okay,
2.
so I'm sorry. So 1 is 1.
Yeah.
2
4
is
is
1.
4 is 2.
4 is
4 is 2.
5 is 3.
Oh, I thought we struck,
We struck this.
Oh, we struck
We did.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
struck
There
that.
it is.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
So 6 is 3.
Yeah.
6
7
is 3, and 7 is 4.
that's 4.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we got 4. All right, so that's our conditions of approval. Are there any other conditions that need to be added? Did you have any discussions with any abutters after the last meeting?
No one's
regarding
approached me.
anything that was.
No
that
one's
should be
approached
added?
me. I'm
Okay.
perfectly happy to be a good neighbor. No problem.
All right, so we did our conditions. So then I'll ask the board, is there anything else we need to discuss? Any other issues or?
Were my comments on number 1 in there about an override and the state fire marshal approving that setup? I don't see any conflict with them doing that.
So just for them on screen, we did through changing this number to this number, that number to that
Right.
number. So if you could read out loud what
The new conditions
what the
are.
new conditions are in the order that you've renumbered them.
Okay, so I have number 1, and I changed it up a little bit, where it says, any new lighting proposed on the site will be full cut-off LED lights. All lighting will be motion activated. All such lighting, sorry.
What's cut off? Means it turns off then?
No, full cutoff, it has a shield on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
it
that
just
it just directs the light down,
down,
it doesn't
not
let
your
it
face.
not a problem.
bleed out all over the place.
Yeah, I live in the area, that's right.
So that's number 1. Number 2, which is the old 4.
Wasn't there something about override?
The override so they can manually turn it on.
Yep, okay. Yeah, we'll get that language in there. Ability to override motion detection as needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old 4, which is now number 2, trucks filling or unloading at the bulk tank facility shall operate in a clockwise manner to minimize light emission onto abutting properties. The old 6, which is 3, all appropriate emergency plans be submitted to the department prior to the tank becoming functional. And the old 7, which is now number 4, Fabian schedule and provide training to the fire department on the full system associated with the propane operation.
And if you could read which ones you struck out, which ones you guys,
And we struck old number 2, 3.
read,
I
no,
think
we have to read
them.
Read them, please.
Okay, the old number 2 that we struck said all truck activity associated with the bulk storage facility shall occur between the hours of 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. unless emergency delivery to clients is required. Number 3 had been struck, which stated no more than 4 bobtail trucks and associated delivery tanks shall be stored on an overnight basis at the site at any one time. Number 5, the old number 5 was struck, which said Fabian Oil engage a civil engineer to assess the stormwater runoff in the Hansel Drive area of the property and provide a report to the planning/code office with a plan to address, if necessary, within 3 months of this approval. So those are the 3 that got struck.
Just one small comment.
Yeah.
On the one that we're keeping, which is now number 3, all appropriate emergency plans be submitted to the department. Can we specify the fire department and what, the planning department?
Code, yeah.
Code?
Code enforcement.
Code
Okay,
enforcement.
put them both. That's fine.
Yeah, put them both in.
Okay, that sounds good.
I want to apologize to Mr. Budo. Only because when I looked on the map, it says it's his property.
There's 2 lots there. He lives in the back and the front
All
one
right,
is the
so are there any
I think my
other
map
issues?
mislabeled.
Anything else the
My
board
engineer mislabeled that.
wants to discuss on this plan? Any other issues or questions, comments? We had the fire department signed off, we've got the federal government, the state, everybody reviewing this, and permitting it. Let's see. I don't see any other
Yeah, it is.
issues that need to come up. That were in my notes. So, brings us to, we're ready for a motion on the application. Yeah, Lori?
I will make a motion to approve this application with the conditions, as we have stated. Yeah, as we have stated, that's all I gotta say.
I'll second.
Okay. So we have a motion by Lori and seconded by Rebecca to approve the Fabian Oil bulk propane storage application with the conditions of approval as discussed and, what did you say?
Yep, as discussed.
As discussed here this evening and that the applicant is okay with. All right, anything further? All in favor? We have 4 yeas. Great. All right, so our final item, unless we're going to kick this to the next meeting also, the mobile vending amendment. because Lee J's not here unless Dean's ready to talk about it. Mobile vending. Because I have a bunch of,
Don't we have to close this, the workshops aren't part of the.
Right.
oh, you guys don't do your workshop today?
No.
All right. Let's see, there's no new business. Anything that needs to be communicated? No? Nothing miscellaneous? Anything else of any kind that needs to come before the board this evening? Going once, going twice? Do we have a motion to adjourn? By Lori, seconded by Diane. All in favor?
Amen.
We have 4 yeas, so
You should go up to it.